Hey, it's Mac, and I think it's weird that, hours after we talk about, Britney and music and everything, she goes on Twitter for the first time and she posts like her feelings about things when she hasn't done that in like years. And I think the timing of that's strange. Um, I know Kate Hudson has put it out there that she reads everything, and I don't think that's true. I think he reads everything. I think he projects some stuff onto her. So she writes, "Those two little bodies came out of my belly. Yes, they are mine. Unfortunately, it wasn't until 5 years ago that I saw they were secretly taken to the beach by my mom and dad the whole summer. I look back now and I remember my dad not letting me go to a diner ever again to eat a hamburger with a new, extremely cool friend I had found because all the attention I got from the Paps after being held in my home for 4 months offended him. I was never allowed to see my friend again or go out to old fashioned hamburger diners. If you know me, I love food. The pictures I saw of my mom and dad in secret on the beach the whole summer with my children every weekend. I wondered why I wasn't part of their cool secret outings. I felt demoralized to live in a country where it was acceptable for people like my mom and dad to live secret lives with my children. It was demoralizing. I just can't emphasize enough that what they did was a crime to Britney. And I think the thing that people should call them out on was like, how could you torment your daughter like that? You say that she had mental health issues and needed mental health treatment, and you tortured her. Why? They need to answer these questions. They need to answer to a real reporter, a real journalist. A real journalist needs to say, if she was so mentally ill, then why did she work nonstop for 12 years? If she was so mentally ill and damaged and broken, then why was it the first thing that Jamie said to her was, "I'm Britney Spears. You're fat. You're a whore. You're a bad mother"? Where was the help in that? I mean, I'm telling you right now, and I've always thought this. I thought this in 2008. I've thought this since, 18 years now. I have thought the same thing. No parent who loves their child is going to strip them of their rights. They're just not going to do it. And what I thought back in 2008 is the level of control that they went after seemed so incredibly odd because in LA, I mean, you can get a sober living coach. Like if she had really had an addiction problem, there were so many other things to do to help her. And now we know that that was all just a fake. That was all just lies. That was them projecting their own addictions, in my opinion, onto Britney. There were just so many other things that they could have done. And the law at the time in January 2008 said that they were supposed to try pretty much like everything before they got to the step of taking, putting her in a conservatorship. And then the American Bar Association, in retrospect, is like, why would you put her in a probate conservatorship when all of her assets were already tucked away in a trust and there was no threat financially to these assets? Additionally, you have Jamie saying she was broke when she was obviously not broke. She was the only member of that family who I think had any respect for the money that they earned and was careful with it. So, I mean, she was being embezzled from. I don't know if it was, I think it was around that time period. I'm not sure when exactly Brian is referring to when he talks about it. If anybody, and nobody was prosecuted. So, I mean, their actions are not the actions of loving parents. And I think Jackie Boucher, she called him out in the New Yorker. And she's like, she helped a corrupt family seize control. So, I mean, I can't imagine, human traffickers want to break your will. They want to break you down. They want to demoralize you. They want to degrade you. They want to dehumanize you. So you lose the will to fight back. And what she's describing here is consistent with that behavior. It's not consistent with the behavior of two loving parents. I mean, Amanda Bynes' parents did not treat her. She's not worked. Amanda Bynes has not worked. She didn't work a day during the conservatorship. So again, I mean, just the basic facts of the situation are like, if she was so sick, why was she working, you assholes? I honestly went to my knees and cried for 2 months. Society doesn't understand the real effects to this very day of the rights and freedoms everyone should be able to have. I never got to be me, the real Spears. I used to be unbelievably intelligent and 100% I was brainwashed into an ignorant system where every person took advantage of me. Ronan Farrow, he talked about it in an interview when he was like promoting his article. He was like, I was really surprised at the lengths that she went to try to get out of this conservatorship and get help. I firmly believe I'm an angel and it hurts. Time is in a different realm when you're an angel. I miss the excitement in my eyes being alive. I miss that light in her eyes too. She used to be such a bright, shining star. I mean, she could just light up a whole room. When I was younger, always so eager to please and hungry for life, I was unbelievably passionate about everything. I know this was all years ago, but as I get older and understand my real value as a woman, I look back and say, how the hell would a government allow that? I mean, that's really easy to answer. We live in an incredibly corrupt society where our government works to the benefit of the richest people in the world and not to the benefit of Americans. I'm not a nun, but I do live in prayer and yoga every day of my fucking life. I've cried so much. I'm extremely weak, but through weakness, they say you will find the most strength because you surrender and give it to God. My son told me last week it was all science. He didn't personally believe in God. In that moment, I believed I had failed as a mother because I know there is a Holy Spirit that sits high in the, I think she says, kingdom of heaven. I've been there. I felt it. I want to tell my kids and people in general that I'm sorry for my mistakes in the past. I mean, they just indoctrinated her during the conservatorship years, telling her over and over again that she got what she deserved. This was a punishment. It wasn't supposed to help her. She's been a bad little girl. She made mistakes. And now they get to own her like a slave. But again, this is human trafficking behavior, telling her over and over again that nothing's going to get better until she takes responsibility for her mistakes. And they literally don't define what the mistakes are. And you know why they didn't define what the mistakes were? Because they were just trying to like break her spirit, and because they had fabricated 2007. I don't want to be in the business, and frankly the thought of the business, it's not like it was when I was younger. My intention and mindset were in a completely different place when I used to perform. Not one time in those 15 years was it ever me and the way I used to think. I was shamed, embarrassed, and forced to do it all. Forced to do all of it. My head meditated on almost fighting through it versus when I was younger, and I dreamed and felt unbelievably lighter, and the connection was different with the fans. I was simply being sassy and doing my thing, but never ever allowed to do anything wrong. My image was to be too good. I feel like the saying when I'm bad, I'm better is pretty fucking rad, but why was me being better a threat to the country, my own family? I just think she needs to come out and say they put me in a conservatorship and they tortured me because they wanted my money. Because they wanted to own me. Because they could never be me. And I just don't know. Like when she writes this stuff, I'm like, do you understand it was about the money? Because you never ever talk about the money. I will never get those years back, and I'm proud of bringing it up because it's honestly unbelievably sad. I dance by myself, but what if fame is an illusion? It is, absolutely. What if none of it is real? As people, we all want a hero or someone to look up to, but we're simply just people at the end of the day. We're all stars in my eyes because I'm simply mama now. I've met the most interesting, intelligent, inspirational people who aren't famous at all and would much rather have a coffee with them. To each their own. We all prefer what we like, and I'm not here to judge. I'm simply here to give perspective openly because I feel I've been misunderstood in my life. I want to get closer to God and get my heart in the most beautiful spiritual way and have dreams again like I did when I used to go to Mexico. So, I mean, she can still sing. I mean, when we're talking about like what she was forced to do, she was lip syncing. She was forced to dance, and she's still dancing. So, I mean, I don't know, you guys. I still think, like, don't give up your voice because of what they did to her. Like, to me, that feels like they're winning. I mean, she can still sing. She just doesn't have to do it for a label. She doesn't have to do it for a corporation. She doesn't have to do it for the business, you know? Like, if she feels compelled to perform, sit down at a piano, turn on the video camera, and just sing and play. And then you're just doing it for the creativity of it all. I just think that for as much as she was called to perform and all of that, her soul and all of that, like, if you surrender to that, then you're letting part of yourself go. I mean, it seems like they did brain damage. Like, the way she talks about it all, it does seem like they did more than break her soul. They, like, broke her brain, which is incredibly tragic. This really, though, answers why, like, she's not taking, like we talked about this morning, like, she gets offers. This is why she's not doing anything with those offers. But I don't know if she listens to this podcast, and after today, I wonder. I mean, I really do wonder if she hears this stuff. And she's like, Mac, I can post my stuff. Mac, I can do X, Y, and Z. I don't know. But now I wonder. I'm pretty sure Kate's aware of the podcast. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to test that. Let's see if Britney Spears is aware of the podcast, okay? So I write a book. I wrote a bunch of books, but one of the books I've got out right now is called The Life She Chose. So my challenge here is to Britney, if you are, in fact, listening to the podcast, I'm sorry, first of all, if I've said anything that offended you. And secondly, I mean, give us a shout out. Just post a caption with The Life She Chose. Make some reference to these words, and we will know that you are in fact listening to the podcast. And I don't know, maybe adjust accordingly. So let's see what happens, you guys. It can be like back in the day when the podcast, the Britney's Gram, was like, hey, we're yellow. Like, if you need help, right? Anyway, that's all I got. I send you all truth, love, and light. Sincerely, Mac.